Okay, third time lucky. Oh my gosh, what a day. Let me just check now. Okay, right. Sorry about that, everybody. I thought I had it all set and I got a call, which meant I didn't really come out here in time to prep everything. Okay, note to self, don't take calls on a day when you're going live. Okay, well, there's a few things to mention today, and I've got a little list here. Barbara and I are doing a repeat of our book vase and festive paper gifts class. We ran this, gosh, was that August? Seems like ages ago. But we have 4 people so far interested in doing it who couldn't make it to the first one. So we're going to run it again on the 23rd of November. So that's at Barbara's house in Pocono. So that is up on my website. You can go and book that. Also up on the website is my Christmas card and tag class. And that is on, I've got 2 dates, the 11th of October and the 16th of November. And that's going to be here in Aka. And that is available to book now. And just to mention also World Card Making Day. So that's coming up on the 4th of October. And I've got a class that day in botany, and that's up on my website, and there are spaces available in there if you're keen to do that. And then after the class, we have the Stamping Up event, which starts for an hour from 5. So we're going to watch that online, and also I think most of the people who are there have the kit, but you don't have to have the kit. There is a kit available, handmade and heartfelt, which is available on the website. I'd get that this week. If you're planning to join us, you probably want to get your order in for that. So the event on Facebook is people from Stamping Up showing us how to make that kit as we celebrate World Card Making Day. But you can just join whether you've got the kit or not. So if you want any details about that, then please let me know, because I can flick you the registration details for the event. If you register for the event, you get the replay, and you also get a free gift from Stamping Up. So we all love a free gift. Right, so I'm going to turn around and have a look at today's project. So today's a little bit different. We did the sunflower embossing folder, and I've still got some here, which I haven't actually made up yet, but this was a video I did on colouring after putting it through the folder and using DSP. So I've got an idea of doing the same thing, but using the, what's it called? Pine Snowflake DSP, I think it's called. What's it called? Elegant Pine Snowflakes DSP. And on the back of some of them, it's got this sort of pattern, which could look like snow or like a blizzard, or it's just quite a nice detail with a bit of sort of a lighter, a few different tones of green. So you've got the green one there, which I've used, but you've also got this sort of, I think that would be Lost Lagoon or maybe peacock, and that might be peacock actually, that's a darker one. And those, so there's a few different shades there which you could use for this technique. So what we need to do is emboss the paper, but we want to use the debossed side. So the side I'm going to colour is this side here. So instead of putting that up the right way in my folder, I've got to put it down the wrong way. That makes sense, because I want the debossed side to be on the green side. I'm just lining it up. So I want my image to come right out to the edge of my piece of paper. So I'm not following that line, but I am trying to get it nice and lined up on there. Oops. Okay, so I'm just going to run that through my embossing machine. So this one I'm using the base plate and then the plate number 4 because it's a 3D embossing folder. Okay, so now when I bring that out, I've got the raised side here on the other side, and this side has the debossed side. And then I'm going to do like we did on those sunflower ones, rub the ink pad across it. And so this is going to give us a background really where we're going to see that image pop out. So I'm just going to go over with, this is Old Olive. And you want to start at the end, where the pad is closest to the edge of the case. And we're just going to rub that across. And turn it around. I find it's easier to rub. And then it's up to you sort of how much you want to put on. But we are coming in with a darker one as well. So we'll leave that as that for the Old Olive. And then we're going to come in with the Mossy Meadow and do the same thing. And you'll see how this just pops out when you would put that darker colour on. But I like it so you get a blend of the colours. So it's not all dark and it's not all light. So that's looking pretty good. I'm just not quite happy with that corner. Just going to fill that in a little bit. Maybe I need to re-ink this pad. It's feeling a little... Yeah, so you just put on as much as you want, but I love how you can see the white still in the paper, and you've got lovely texture. So you've got the white and then our 2 colours of green. So that is our wreath. So I'll just wipe that off. Great thing about this glass mat, it's easy to clean. Now I think I've made that the size of a card front, so I might even have to trim it down. I'll just prepare a base. I'm going to go with Mossy Meadow. So I'm just going to score this through the middle. This is how I prepare my card bases. And then cut that there. So I've got 2. One over here for later. And we'll fold this in half. So sorry if you've had trouble finding me. I did have an event scheduled and then I had troubles going live in the event, and then I had to end it and then I couldn't get back in. It said the event had already happened. So I hope that you have found me. Oh yes, I've got 2 people. Yay. Right, so this goes straight to the edge of my cardstock, and I think I probably want an edge. I quite like that more layered look, so I'm going to trim this down. And I think I'm going to trim it from this side because I want to keep that space there so it looks like a wreath. I'm not trying to, I want it to still look like a wreath. And then I might have to do a little bit from each side on this one. A little bit off there and a little bit off the length. Yeah, that way. Right, so we've got our wreath with the hole in the middle. And then that hole needs to go on the side. So I'm planning to put some embellishment on this side. But let's just, I think I might attach this flat down because it's DSP and because it's embossed and it's quite heavily, you know, there's quite a lot of embossing. It feels a little more flimsy than normal. So I think I'm going to stick it to my card base. There we go. Right, and then I've got some bits and pieces here that I've cut out, and I wanted to talk about these words. So this is the word I'm planning to use, season's greetings, and I have put some ink on here, and I might even do a little bit more to show you, but they come on this these strips, and if you don't have many Christmas stamps, this would be a great way to get a whole lot of Christmas messaging to use for your seasonal crafting. So this is the Greetings for You Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. So it's got each sheet, there's 2, and there's 6 sheets in total. So that's loads and loads of sentiments. And this is what we're using actually in my Christmas cards and tags class, is you'll get sheets of these to use for the greetings. So there's actually no stamping in that class, which makes it perfect for if you can't make it along, then I can do the class for you as a class to go. So anyway, getting back to these, come on so they're all white with the gold embossing. And I just felt that against my green, let's get a different one here, against my green, I just felt it was quite bright. So I've experimented here with putting some ink on it with a blending brush, and I'll just tap off that first little blob. And so I just got my blending brush and just went over the words just like that. So you could do an ombre, you could do it all the one colour. Actually my G there looks like it needs a little bit more on the tail. I'm sort of going for all one colour, although it has kind of got a bit of an ombre feel to it, just in parts where I haven't quite got the same amount. That's looking better. And then just grab a tissue and just give it a wipe, and it just takes any ink off the gold because we don't want that to look dull. Just brightens it up again. And then it's ready to go on our card. And I think, for me personally, I think that tones in better. I'm just finding that one a little bit bright. So that's what we're doing. And then I've got some bits here that I've cut out. So I've cut these from the Delicate Pines suite dies. So I've got some gold, some green, and then I've got a pine cone. So I'm going to stick that pine cone together. Just poke out, there's some little bits here still attached. And then I've got one of these nifty, I think a few of you have got these, where you've put the, our normal liquid glue into a smaller bottle with a lovely point. The only thing is sometimes I haven't used it for a while, so it can be a bit hard to get out. I'll probably have to get it going again. Yes. Never mind, we'll come back to that. I do find if I haven't used it for a while, it just takes a little bit of encouragement to get it going. So we'll just go with the usual Tombow. I didn't do any crafting this weekend. I had a girlfriend up from Christchurch, so there was 3 of us, and we did some arty things actually. We went to the art gallery for the modernist, Modern Impressionists, I think it was called, exhibition. It's on loan from Toledo. Okay, so that's our little, what's it called, pine cone. So I did that with gold foil, and at the back is early espresso to make it pop. And I think we'll just start attaching some of these things. So it's really just to make a little focal area over here. So probably put that down first, I think. And that about up there. And then some of these gold ones don't have all of the pieces popped out, but I probably don't need to do them all, so that the bottom of it will get hidden. That gives you somewhere to put your glue. Quite handy. So these are actually together. The die cuts it out like that. So I just positioned it so I didn't get the middle bit. And I'm actually going to tuck that under this leaf. Like that. And this one's going to go on dimensionals. And the other thing with these words off these ephemera packs is they've got sticky. So I don't know if you can see the line there. So that would peel off if you want to stick it straight down, which is quite handy. But I'm going to put mine on dimensionals, I think. So I won't peel that backing off. Just leave it on there and put the dimensionals on top. So it's a great thing to use either way. Now, I do have some ribbon I'm planning to put in here. I might put that on next. So I was thinking I'd just make a little thing like that. So I'm just going to do the ends on an angle to stop them fraying. And this is beautiful. It's got the green on one side and gold on the other. So it's really striking. So I'm going to join them together here with a glue dot. Just get that glue dot on one side of the ribbon and then fold that across. So now I've got my shape and I don't have to worry about holding that. And then just one glue dot behind that to attach it to the card. Just want to get that on before I put too many more of my things. Actually, I'm now wondering, is there another way so it's not such a loop? I want to sit flatter. I think that will sit flatter. Oh, I've done it the same way. Anyway, we'll put it on. Okay, there we go. Put that one in. Now, the next thing I might do is my pine cone. And because I'm attaching it to the ribbon, I'm going to use a glue dot. If I used the liquid glue, it just takes forever to dry. And just going to double check. So once I've got that on, my little pine cone can sit down here like that. Just wondering if I need another glue dot under there. I just put one at the top, so I'm going to add one. Oops. Under here as well, just so it's nicely attached. Okay. And I'll pop out a few of these bits. I really like these sprigs. They're like real pine needles. And I'm just going to trim off what we don't need. And that one, I could actually sit it over the pine cone a little bit. I want it to look like it's actually nestled in a tree. Okay, and another gold one. Just rest that there and just double check. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Oops, moved a bit. Hold it with a finger for a minute. I think my fingers have got a bit sticky. Okay, now I'm going to put dimensionals over the top, and I've sort of got everything at about the same height there, so let's just go with the small ones. and put some of these on the back. I might put another one just there. Somebody asked me about how many dimensionals and they should use, and I said, well, it's like the foundations of a house, you know, you've got to have it right from the start. The thing that that I have seen and don't want to happen is for something to get pushed down and you end up with it creating a hollow. I want it all to stay up on that higher level. That makes sense. So it's not a matter of any sort of right answer as to how many to use, but I like to feel that it's going to stay put. Now, what's happening here? I might just need one under the S. It's feeling a little loose. So I've got this flat tool on the take your pick. I'll stick my dimensional on there, take off the top, and then I can slide it in and just pull that out. And now that just feels a bit more secure. Yeah, it's always a bit tricky when you're doing it on top of ribbon, because ribbon, I haven't connected the ribbon, you know, all the way down. But I think that's pretty good now. And I just remembered something I was meant to do, and that was colour the little berries. So you'll see in the pattern, I don't know if you can see, but there's all these little berries. So I'm going to colour them in. I've got a cherry cobbler blend here. And they are indented, so I'm just carefully colouring into that hole. Don't really want to go over the edge. You wouldn't have to do them all, I don't think, but let's see how we go. There's a few there. It just adds to the whole, you want it to look like a wreath, right? The other thing you can do with this embossing folder is make a square card. I don't tend to make square cards because they cost a bit more to post, but if you were just planning it to give it to someone in person, then a square card is a nice way to go. Postage is enough as it is, isn't it? Or if it was for a really special occasion or somebody you could really splash out. Yeah, I really like these little berries. And then I do have some red embellishments I'm going to use as well. Okay, I think, oh, there's one there. Yeah, cute. So that just makes a difference and brings out more detail in the wreath, I think. And then I've got these are still available. Cherry cobbler and pearl adhesive backed berries. These were a Christmas item from a couple of years ago, or a year ago, yeah. So now, where's that little tool? Get my take your pick tool. And they've got the sticky, so I'm just getting under that sticky and grabbing my berry. And then I'm going to put them around my words here. There, and one more. It's nice to have both the blend coloured ones and real ones, I think. There you go. It's too much in a row. It's hard figuring out where to put them. But it's good when it's on the tool. I can just move it around and decide where I'm going to put it. I might put it there. Right, so that is my card basically. Gosh, that went quite quick after we got going. So just goes to show you don't need a lot of supplies to make something gorgeous for Christmas. And I actually hadn't thought about, I did have one thought about the inside, and that was, I'll have to cut an inner. Actually, I'm wondering, should I use vanilla instead of white? I might even have a vanilla inner. I just feel that's not quite as stark, so let's do that. I'll just cut it down. And my idea was to see if I could emboss the corner, because I could use one of the Delicate Pines stamps, which is this set here. So I could use one of those on the inside because it kind of goes. In fact, that one would work. But I did wonder if I could just emboss. So if that's just emboss the bottom with the same wreath was my idea. So my machine, I've got to get it so it goes through the machine. So I can't have it sort of way out here because that's too wide. That's why I'm just playing with it now. And you don't want too much, of course, because you've got to leave space to write. So it would have to go right across the bottom like that. So I think I might just stick with the stamping. But that was an idea. And I hadn't thought about what I was going to use, but I quite like that one because it mimics the sprigs on the gold and the green. So I'm going to use some Mossy Meadow. And I might do it a couple of times, so I might just go that and without, so I was going to stamp it again, but I noticed that I went off the edge here, so I've still got ink on the stamp. So if I stamp that again, I'm going to get this part with second generation, but this part is still first generation. So I'm actually going to re-ink the whole thing. And I could just stamp that off and then do a lighter version, but I want to put two, I think. Yeah. Two the same. And then that all ties in with our lovely sprigs on the front. Oh yeah, I'm glad you found me, Heather. Sorry, just checking the comments now. Yes, sorry about all that. I just left it too late to get on, and then when things didn't go right, I didn't have time to fix it. And then I got flustered. You know when you get flustered and then it just all seems to go wrong? Anyway, you found me in the end and we made it. I made the card. So there we are. There's our traditional Wreath 3D embossing folder Wreath Christmas card. And like I say, I really think these words, this ephemera pack is really great value for what you get. All sorts of different ways of sending a seasonal greeting, and they're all done ready for you in gold, which is fantastic, and you can colour them to suit whatever project you're working on. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. And don't forget, all the classes and things are on my website, and if you've got any questions, just reach out to me. Thanks for coming. Bye.